Hi everyone, this is Tanner here, and I am super excited because football season is here. After a long off season, we are finally back, and today on the Man to Man Coach podcast channel, I'll be doing an NFL prediction series. I usually do this on my channel, but I thought, hey, this is a football channel, so let's go into predicting. We're going to begin this season with Thursday night here in the NFC column, as America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is such an exciting storyline. The defending champs here, Tampa Bay hosting the Cowboys. It's just going to be, I think, a pretty great game to kick off the season. I am going to go with Tampa Bay, and here's why. You have two great offenses. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, great deep ball guy, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown with the Buccaneers. You have Dak Prescott returning, the quarterback for the Cowboys, along with Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. But other components of the team, the Buccaneers, in my opinion, have what I think is going to be a top three defense, while the Cowboys, I think, are going to have a bottom defense. And I see this game being close, but ultimately, I think somewhere in the third quarter, the Buccaneers defense will get a stop, make a big play, and I think they'll win. If I had to do score predictions for this one, I'll say 34-24. So yeah, I think the Buccaneers start 1-0. Next up, Eagles-Falcons. Battle of the Birds here in Atlanta. You have two new head coaches, Nick Sirianni with Philadelphia, Arthur Smith with the Falcons. For me, both teams have defensive holes and issues. So it comes down to the offense, and I just trust Matt Ryan and the Falcons more. He's been in the league since 2008, while the Eagles, their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, this is only his second year. Also, the Falcons have Kyle Pitts, a rookie tight end, and the Eagles' linebacking core is really weak. So I just trust the Falcons' offense more, so I think they get a Week 1 win at home. 49ers-Lions. I think it's going to be a pretty boring game, one-sided game that's kind of over before you reach halftime. I think the 49ers get a big win. I like Detroit's new head coach, Dan Campbell. They have some nice pieces, just not a cohesive unit. If you have any 49ers players in fantasy, start them in this game. I just feel like that they're going to run out over the Lions. The Lions really don't have the defense to stop San Francisco, and they don't have the offense to keep up with them. I think the 49ers get a win. Packers-Saints. First of all, prayers up to those getting impacted by the current hurricane going on. And I thought that was very nice how the Jaguars are letting the Saints use their home stadium for this game. I'm going to go with the Packers, though. I just like them better. I think this is just a case of the Packers being a better team. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, that dynamic duo in Green Bay could be the last season in Green Bay. I think the Packers are going to be a top-tier team in the NFC. The Saints, I like Jameis Winston. We'll see where they go. I think this is going to be a team with New Orleans that we find out more about them as the season goes on. But in terms of Week 1, I'm going with Green Bay. And then Sunday night, we have Bears-Rams. Two great defenses here. A lot of great defensive players. You have Aaron Darnold, Jalen Ramsey for the Rams. You have Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson for the Bears. So it comes down to the offense, and I think the Rams' offense is better. So I'm giving them the win. I love this Rams offense. Have a very talented wide receiving core. And you have Matthew Stafford at quarterback, the former Lions quarterback, who's used to playing the Bears. And when Stafford was a quarterback of Detroit, he got some good wins over Chicago. And I think this happens with Stafford getting the Week 1 win over the Bears. The Bears, I just don't think have the offense to keep up. So I think this could be a game the Rams win by at least a touchdown or two. And I like how the Bears are playing Andy Dalton. I'm glad that they're waiting for the rookie Justin Fields, because imagine if Justin Fields, a rookie, started this game. Going up against that nightmarish defense with LA, that would be a tough game for a rookie. So I'm glad that Matt Nagy and the Bears coaches are sitting Justin Fields for a couple of weeks. Alrighty, we then go to the AFC versus NFC column. So the divisions playing each other this season is going to be NFC North against the AFC North. NFC West against the AFC South, the NFC East against the AFC West, and the NFC South versus the AFC East. And we're going to start with the Vikings Bengals here. Two fun offenses. You have Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. You have Joe Burrow, T. Higgins. Hopefully Jamar Chase plays well. He was very shaky in preseason. You also have Joe Mixon. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun game. What it comes down to, though, is that the Vikings defense, I think, is going to be a lot better this season. They have a lot of players who were injured last year who are hopefully going to be healthy this season. You have Michael Pierce at defensive tackle, Danielle Hunter off the edge, and they're going to swarm this Bengals offensive line, which is a huge mess. I think there could be a world where the Bengals maybe win it, but I'm pretty confident in Minnesota just with that defense. I think they're going to force a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow, the Bengals quarterback. I think it's going to be a very tough game. Late, I could see Cincinnati maybe coming out and showing some nice plays, but then I think there'll be a time in the third or fourth quarter where the Vikings D-line gets a huge sack or something on Cincinnati. So I'm taking the Vikings. Seahawks Colts, not a ton to say about this game. I'm going Seattle over Indianapolis. Both have well-built rosters, so that's nice. They both have great head coaches. Pete Carroll with the Seahawks, Frank Reich with the Colts. I just trust the Seahawks more. You have Russell Wilson, a top-tier quarterback in this league. You have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett with the Seahawks. The Colts, there's question marks about Carson Wentz, the quarterback. How does he do going from Philly to Indy? T.Y. Hilton's injured. How does that play out? There's just so many question marks with the Colts. So I think the Seahawks win. I think Seattle also is a team that usually starts off pretty hot and then kind of cools down, while Indianapolis sometimes starts off a bit slow but then heats up. So I think the Seahawks win this one. This is going to be Tanner's game of the week. There's usually I'm going to pick one game of the week that I think people are kind of sleeping on in terms of excitement, and that's this Chargers-Washington football team game. You have first-year head coach Brandon Staley with the Chargers, the electric offense with second-year player Justin Herbert. You also have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams on that offense. And then going up against Washington with, veteran head coach Ron Rivera, that stingy defense with second-year edge player Chase Young, with other people like Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen. So I think that this matchup, both teams are just so opposite of each other. It's going to be a pretty great game. In terms of the Washington offense, yeah, I like it with, the Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Antonio Gibson, and the Chargers defense is nice. This is tough because I could see a game where Justin Herbert plays pretty well, but then he has a late game pick and Washington wins it. And okay, nice defensive win. Or I could see a game where it's close and Justin Herbert makes a big play and wins it for the Chargers. This is going to be a very close game, kind of a coin flip scenario. This is tough, everyone. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I just feel like I have high hopes for Justin Herbert in year 2. Such a big arm. He can really stretch the field. I'm going Herbert and the Chargers, but I think this will be an exciting game. Next up, we have New York and Carolina, Jets, Panthers. The fun storyline about this game is that you have Sam Darnold, who's a current Panthers quarterback. Well, he got traded from the New York Jets, so he gets to play his former team in Week 1. Talk about a revenge storyline. I'm going to go with the Panthers, ultimately. The Jets, you have a rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, who I do like. You have a first-time head coach in Robert Saleh. There's some nice pieces on the offense, of Corey Davis. You go to the Panthers, they have Christian McCaffrey, star running back. He can do it all. You got Robbie Anderson. You have DJ Moore. It comes down to the defense, and I just like the Panthers' defense better than the Jets. I think the Panthers are going to be a playoff team, or they're going to only win 5 games. It'll be interesting to see how they do this game. I'm expecting it to be kind of close, let's say Panthers 30, Jets 20. But the Panthers come out and blow out the Jets. I could see that happening. I don't think it will. I think Panthers win about 10 points or so. Could I see the Jets winning? Not really, so I'm going to go Carolina. Cardinals, Titans, I mean, there's just so much talent in this game. It's insane. Arizona, you have Kyle Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, AJ Green, JJ Watt, Isaiah Simmons, Chandler Jones. With the Titans, you have Bud Dupree, AJ Brown, Julio Jones, who got traded from the Falcons, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry. Just so many talented players in this game. It's insane. And I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a fun game. Two great offenses could maybe get into the 40s in terms of scoring. I like Arizona a lot this season. But this game, I'm giving Tennessee to win. Why is that? Well, really, the one reason is the Cardinals' run defense is not that great. And I think Derrick Henry is going to have a really good game. And since he's going to run well, that's going to open up the play action for Ryan Tannehill. And I just see this being a really big game for the Titans offense. Cardinals will have success as well, but I'm going Tennessee to beat Arizona. Broncos, Giants, two great defenses. I think this will be a fine game. I'm going to go Denver over New York. The New York offensive line still concerns me, even though they have players like Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay. That Broncos defensive front with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, they can just force so much pressure, and I have concerns about the Giants' offensive line. Could I see New York winning? Totally, but I think the Broncos really match up well, and I think that they win, and now I'll conclude the AFC versus NFC column. Now we go to the AFC column. Steelers, Bills, easy Buffalo win. Steelers, shaky QB play, offensive line issues. I like the Steelers defense, but the Bills are just one of the most complete teams in the NFL. They're going to be at home. You know how wild Bills Mafia can get. I think the Bills get the Week 1 win. I think it's going to be the most boring game of them all. Jaguars Texans. I'm going Jacksonville. The Texans, I think, are going to be the worst team this season. I like their quarterback Tyrod Taylor, but he's fine. He's not like a superstar. The Texans defense just has so many missing holes all over the place. And for me, I think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. I don't think they're going to be able to score a ton, and I don't think they'll be able to stop teams. Jaguars themselves are not flawless. This is a division battle. Both teams I could actually see picking in like the top 5 for the NFL draft this, at the end of this season. I just think the Jaguars are the better team slightly. And the Jaguars' weakness, the offensive line, and the secondary, the Texans really can't exploit that much. So I think rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence makes his NFL debut and gets the win for the Jaguars. It will be cool to see him, but overall kind of an ant game. Browns, Chiefs. I like the Browns a lot this season, I do, but I think it'll take them about 2 to 3 weeks before they get going. I don't know if you all remember last season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it took them 2 to 3 weeks before they got going. I'm not saying the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, but when you have kind of these almost dream teams like the Browns, so much talent, it usually takes about a week or 2 to gel. Someone will go with Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and crew, just insanely talented. I think, especially at home, the Chiefs going to have a nice win. I think it could be close, and if the Browns win, it wouldn't shock me. I just think the Chiefs are a better team and one of the best teams in the entire NFL. Dolphins, Patriots, division duel here. I'm going New England over Miami. Both teams have great defenses. And then you have the storyline of the quarterbacks. You have rookie quarterback Mac Jones playing for the Patriots. Super excited. I love that fit. Mac Jones going to New England and starting. And then, the Dolphins, you have year 2 quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. How does he do this season? Both QBs went to Alabama, so that's neat. I'm going to go New England. I just think that their defense, coached by legendary head coach Bill Belichick, I just like them, a bit more than I do Miami. And then we go to Monday night in Las Vegas as one of my favorite teams, the Ravens, visit the Raiders in Vegas. That would be cool to see. I'm going to go with the upset. Tanner's upset of the week with the Raiders winning at home. The Ravens are having a ton of injuries. Baltimore's really beaten up. Yes, they did sign Le'Veon Bell. That is very cool, but he's not what he used to be. And yes, the Raiders' defense is not the best, but I just think the Ravens, having so many injuries, they're going to be off for the first couple of games. I think the Ravens are going to be a team that starts slow but then just kind of gets going like by week 5 or 6 or 4. I think that this game with the injuries is going to be tough for Baltimore. And yes, I like how their defense stacks up against the Raiders' offense. The Raiders' offense, I like the pieces there. I'm just going Las Vegas. I'm not the biggest fan of the Raiders. I think these two teams are going to flip. I think Las Vegas is going to start off hot and then crash. And then I think the Ravens are going to start slow and then be really good at the end of the season. So yeah, upset. I have the Raiders winning Monday night to conclude the week. And that'll do it for predictions, everyone, for week 1. I really like these matchups. And I really like this whole schedule. We have 18 weeks here. I'm going to be excited to do this series and predict these great games. Shout out whoever made the NFL schedule is really great, and I'm going to be excited to do this series. Hope y'all enjoyed episode 1 covering week 1, and I'll see y'all for week number 2. Enjoy football, everyone, because it is back. Let's go and enjoy some football.